Let's do this thing. I wanted to thank you all for watching today's video. Holden and Jen are going to see my new movie, and I hope for a positive review. The only thing I want more than a positive review is justice.
The only thing positive here is my HIV test. I'm afraid there's no way your film will be better than that of the Nolan trilogy.
Apples and oranges, Payne. You need to watch this movie with a fresh perspective. Or is that not who you are?
It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan. You guys gonna watch that new Jurassic World movie? Gonna be good. Hello everyone, my name is Holden Hardman. Thank you so much for joining us for another video. Jen and I are going to be going to see The Batman. It's Friday morning. We're going to the 10:15 showing because we couldn't go for the Monday fan event, we couldn't go for the Wednesday fan event, and we couldn't go Thursday for the early showing. So Friday morning it is for us, and we're so excited to check it out. How are you feeling going into the theater and watching it?
I'm excited. This has been like the #1 movie on my bucket list to go see. The previews that I have watched look phenomenal. I think it's going to be a really, really interesting movie. So I'm really excited.
Transparently, I'm cautiously optimistic. I am a huge lover of the Christopher Nolan Batman films, and I know that this is like a totally separate thing. I know Matt Reeves directing it, Robert Pattinson, who I think is an underrated actor, is Batman, so I'm really looking forward to it, and I really hope it's gonna be good. I'm not like super duper extremely hyped for it like I am maybe some of the Marvel films, but I'm really hoping for a really good Batman, and here we go, let's go check it out.
3 hours later.
All right, just got out of The Batman. It's a long movie. It was 3 hours long. You know, it honestly felt like a combination of the Batman Arkham games and the Batman animated series all merged into one. I think it was probably a smidge too long. Like, I feel like this would have been like a good extended cut for the Blu-ray release. Overall though, I did enjoy it. I would love to know some of your thoughts.
I enjoyed it. I also agree that it was long. I will say that I was pleasantly surprised with Robert Pattinson. He did a great job playing Batman. He may be my favorite so far. He didn't talk a lot. That emotion that he brought to that character was purely on like presence. It was most definitely a different feeling from all the other Batman, people that have played Batman. The biggest thing was for me, this version of Batman truly did not care about fame, the women that came along with it, money. We kind of saw with Christian Bale's character, he was very into like that part where he would socialize and go out with women and flaunt his money, and we didn't see that at all in this one. It is very clear that he is struggling emotionally right off the bat. He's less in control. There are certain scenes in this movie where I expected that compassion to come through, and he was just very cold. I don't say that in a negative way. The variation from what I'm used to seeing as far as the Batman character. It wasn't until one of the final scenes where he like really connected with one of the victims of this terrible incident that happened. That was probably the most connection that I've seen. I have to say, I really wanted to like the character of Selina Kyle. And it's not the actress, because she played her really, really well. I think they could have elaborated with her character a little more. I hate that they went the route of she's related to Falcone and this is like a personal vendetta. I hate that they went that way. I would have liked her character more if it was just more organic, I guess. Didn't really care about her friend. I don't even remember her name. Annika. I didn't really care about her. The Penguin, I was a little let down by the Penguin. And I don't know if that's just because I remember seeing the cheesy one with Danny DeVito and he was so off the wall that going from that to this one is just an adjustment for me. me. It was the same thing with the Riddler. I think this may be a situation where it really was a disservice for me to see those, where those characters are completely off the wall, exaggerated, and then we see these, they're kind of just like regular folk with some minor, mental issues going on. I really liked the actor that played Gordon. I thought he was great. The actor that played Falcone was also really great as well. I loved the music. The theme, me and Holden were like humming it as we came out of the theater, and I know it's gonna stay with me. The music was really on point. There was a couple of scenes in here that I thought were visually just like amazing. One of the scenes that I enjoyed the most was where he was in this corridor and they had multiple weapons and they were being shot off. So they're in the complete dark and you're just seeing the weapon fire, and that's the only like image that you see. And that, I thought it was great. That fight scene was amazing. It was one of my favorite throughout the movie. I think it was Two-Face that was in one of the final scenes with the Riddler, which I would love because, and I know it's more of a cheesy film, but the one with Two-Face and it was the Riddler. I loved that. It was so cheesy and campy, but I loved it. It would be really nice to see a follow-up film with those two. Selina and Batman Bruce Wayne, their chemistry is on fire. They kind of remind me of Matt and Elektra. You know, you have Elektra / Selina who wants to like kill someone, get vengeance, and then you have Batman / Daredevil Matt saying, no, we're not gonna use guns. So it was interesting because that's what it made me think of.
So Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne Batman, I really enjoyed it. I think the choice to go sort of this more like, as Jen said, with like the Christian Bale portrayal, you had him being Batman and then like Bruce Wayne being this persona playboy kind of guy. In this version, he really didn't change personalities when he was Bruce Wayne. Like even when he made his brief public appearance at that funeral, he still was kind of just this like brooding guy. The benefit of playing Bruce Wayne like that is it makes him being Batman even more implausible. It's why Christian Bale's Batman, no one ever suspects Bruce Wayne because he's always been this narcissistic womanizer. That's the persona he puts out there. There's a reason he does that. I will say a big praise is that this was a Batman movie. Like Batman was centric and like it was fully around him. I love that they emphasized him being a detective. This whole movie is him and Gordon like solving these riddles and trying to solve the case. I love that. I think that's underutilized in a lot of the other Batman movies. A little bit in the Christian Bale for sure, but it was like about them solving these things. I could see somebody loving the tonality of this movie and this becoming somebody's favorite Batman movie. It feels kind of more like a modern Tim Burton Batman, that sort of gothic, dark feeling. I think that's great for a Batman movie. I think the disservice to this one was probably the length. Jen said she couldn't even remember the Annika girl's name. I think if you removed kind of a bunch of that stuff and made the relationship with Batman and Catwoman a little bit more streamlined, just like they did with Jim Gordon, to shave off, half an hour, 45 minutes, would probably have been in their best interest. That said, I think the third act was phenomenal. I love seeing the big climactic thing with the Riddler come into play. I also really like how they made it seem like the Riddler was like working with Batman. The Riddler thought that Batman was actually on his side and really trying to help tear down the corruption of the city in the Riddler's way. I've said before in some of the Daredevil videos that we've done that the dangers of there being vigilantes and dealing out vigilante justice, while we might agree with some of them, it will inspire people that would take it further or take it too far, just as the case in as the Punisher in Daredevil, and just as the case of the Riddler and all these other people in this one. Batman at the very beginning is like, I'm vengeance, and then you have a guy who's shooting politicians, and one of which was a good politician with the way they made her seem, and him being like, I'm vengeance. So Batman is inadvertently inspiring these horrible people to do these horrible things, which I think is what would happen in real life. So I'm glad that they at least touched on that. And at the very end, Batman's like, I need to become more. So I guess that's when Batman becomes justice as opposed to vengeance. I think this was a good movie. I think it's a solid watch. I would love to see them continue on. I don't know if that person at the end is Two-Face. It looked a lot like the Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face from the old Batman movies. He said a comment about being a clown. Then they just started like laughing hysterically. So I don't know if that's supposed to be their version of the Joker. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to continue on. I'm probably going to have to digest this one a little bit because where I'm at right now, I feel like it's good. Not my favorite Batman movie, not my favorite Batman, but still an honorary contributor to the Batman mythos.
One thing that I really like about this film is that it was kind of narrated by Batman. I don't know if any of the other Batman movies have done that, but if they did, this one hit completely differently. He was very, very dark, very grungy. I think I'm gonna go with an 8.
I will add, I thought Colin Farrell's Penguin was going to be like a lot more prevalent in this one. Selena Kyle, her portrayal of Catwoman, I thought was good. I feel like too many coincidences with her, like Batman follows her out of the club and she just so happens to be this master cat burglar who also just so happens to be the daughter of Carmine Falcone. So I didn't really like that. I do agree, I think that they had good chemistry on camera. I think she was a decent Catwoman. For me, I would probably rate this one, I'm going to go with a 7.5. I think a solid watch, solid Batman, not my favorite Batman, still a good addition to the Batman franchise. And of course, I would love to see them do more with them. But those are just some of our thoughts on the Batman movie. If you've already seen it, let us know your comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, leave it a like. It helps the channel out a lot. Subscribe so you'll be notified next time we post a video. Check out Patreon. We got a lot of early access stuff on there right now. And you can watch full-length reactions to other fun stuff that we do. But as always, I appreciate you watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.